Students, to explain the strength of the acid, um, universal indicators also used. Under the activity 11, I'm going to explain about the one of the universal indicator, that is pH indicator. So to explain, strength of the acid, universal indicators also used. So pH paper is one of the universal indicator. First one, pH paper also universal indicator. Okay, what is meant by pH and how can we explain the strength of the acid with pH? Strength in the sense strongness of the acid. For example, H2SO4, I explained it before. H2SO4 is a strong acid, acetic acid is a vinegar, is a weak acid. How can I explain? So we did an experiment in activity 10. So the same way, universal indicators also explains about the strength of the acid. What is meant by pH at first? pH in the sense, it is a Greek word, pH, derived from the Greek word potenge. Potenge in the sense power. Power of the acid. We can explain the power of the acid based on this pH paper. It is one of the paper like a litmus paper. We can, and different pH values, it gives different color. So we will see first that experiment and then we can explain this one. Okay, so before going to do the experiment, I will explain a little about the pH. In the higher classes we will learn about this pH. So we can calculate the pH by using minus log H plus ions concentration. So in higher classes you will learn this one, and we will do now the experiment. Once you try to understand this experiment, and you can clearly understand the pH values and everything. So once you see this,
okay, this is the video where we're going to be testing various solutions with pH paper. So you can write down a chart, give it this heading or title, testing pH with pH paper. We've got sodium hydroxide base, hydrochloric acid, vinegar, baking soda, lemon juice, window cleaner, Drano, and detergent. Don't worry about that last row. We actually don't have an unknown. So we're just going to test 8 items. Okay, they're in the same position on this spot plate as they were in the chart. We're going to use pH paper like this. It'll change color, and we'll match up the color change with what we see on this color chart here to try to determine exactly what the pH actually is. So let's do the first one, sodium hydroxide base, and when we compare it, we can see here, yeah, that's kind of a 12. Next one is hydrochloric acid. And we got a nice pink to red color, so that's, pH 1, probably, yeah. The next one is vinegar, and we get kind of an orange color for this one. That's kind of a 3. We've got baking soda, and we got a nice green color being produced there, and that's kind of a pH of 8. Lemon juice, and we get kind of like a pH of 3. It might be somewhere between 3 and 4. Window cleaner, which is ammonia, we get kind of a light green color here. It's around pH of 7, but not quite as yellow as what you would see right there. So somewhere between 7 and 8. Then we have Drano, and we get a really dark blue color there, so that's a strong base pH of 12. And then we've got detergent, and that's kind of like a pH of Well, it's not quite 9, not quite 10, somewhere between 9 and 10.
So I explained you this. You can understand. I think you understood this one. See, I will explain you this. So you understood the pH experiment, and then what you gonna do? So before going to do the experiment, I will take the other images also. You can understand clearly then. So this is the pH indication, okay, and different colors it gives in a different ranges. Okay, any solutions you can test with pH paper, and we can say the pH or strength of the acid based on the color change. Understand? And another diagram I will take. So to do the experiment, before going to do the experiment, we will see the procedure to do whatever procedure. Just wait. So what you're gonna take and how to do the experiment. So take a pH paper and following the chemicals you're gonna do. So in the table, so I will give the table. Based on the table you're gonna write the result. Okay, what you're gonna take? Take pH paper and record your observation by using following chemicals. So we'll see the following table, and based on that pH paper you're gonna take and compare and say the pH values of that. Once you see this, there is several there is a table, and this table, once you see different chemicals are there, different chemicals. So what we saw in the experiment, like that we're gonna test with pH paper and HCl. HCl, we know that it will use pH value 1 we saw in the experiment. Acetic acid pH value 3 we saw in the experiment. Like that you can write your observations and fill this. It is a home to you, it is a fill this, and finally what you're gonna take, and based on this pH values we can analyze the acid, base, and salts. And see this image, and after the filling pH values, once you see, so below 7, it is very important, below 7, so those are acids, above 7 those are alkali, that means bases. 7 neutral salts, are neutral salts also present, and water is also pH value is 7 normally. So this you're gonna remember. So there is a pH paper or pH values 1 to or 0 to 14 only. Okay, that way I explained you this one in another page. Okay, see, pH values will be 1 to 14, 1 to below 7 acids, above 7 to 14 bases. Strong acid, in the sense strong acid 1 to 3, weak acid 3.527. Strong base 9.5 to 14, or we can take 10 to 14. Weak base above 7 to 10, below 10 we can take. This is the strength of the acid based on the pH values. Okay, this is not only this one. So in this experiment 11 we can take importance of pH in everyday life. The importance of pH, so I will explain you importance of pH in everyday life. So I will explain you this one once you see. So how the pH useful in our life. First one, are plants and animals pH sensitive? This is the question. Are plants and animals pH sensitive? What is meant by this one? Plants and animals pH sensitive, those are pH sensitive. How those are pH sensitive? For example, in a particular pH values, okay, their metabolic reactions occurs. For example, if the pH value is less than 5.6, so we call it as a acid rains. As because of the acid rains, ponds in the sense rivers, ponds, lakes, pH will changes. Because of changing in pH, it is a threat to aquatic animals. Aquatic animals will die. The fishes and aquatic life will die because of the acid rains and change in the pH values. That we can write. So write the notes, you can understand. So living organism can survive only in a can't survive only in a slight change in pH. So definite change in pH only they will survive. So what will happen when the pH is changed? So how pH is changed? When pH of rain water is less than 5.6 is called acid rains. This one of the question also they will ask based on this. What is meant by acid rain? We can write simply, and the pH value when pH of the rainwater is less than, so 5.6 is called acid rains. It changes the lake's pH and it is led to aquatic animals, or you can write. This water flows into the rivers and lowers the pH which causes difficult to survive aquatic animals. So we can write off your own like this. So if the pH value is changes are below 5.6, we call it as acid rain. When the pond or river pH is changed, then so aquatic animals face difficulties to survive. So this is one of the views, and another one is what will happen when the pH values of our body increases. So another question, what will happens if the pH value in our body increases? So another question, think and discuss this one. Third question, another question I will ask you, why do living organisms have narrow pH? Why do living organisms have narrow pH? In the sense, what will happen when the pH of the metabolic, so in our body pH is changes, what will happen? First question. Second question, so we have a sharp pH range. In living organisms that pH is changes, okay, so very narrow, that means slight changes also causes so many what we can say disorders, inorders and diseases. So why that narrow pH is there, they ask these questions. First question, what will happen, did you think? So second question answer is so when the pH of our body is changes, so our metabolic reactions may disturb. Our metabolic reactions may changed. This is the third question answer. Why so living organisms have narrow pH? The answer is so many selective metabolic reactions occurs in a definite pH. That is the answer. That means, for example, digestion, excretory system, respiratory system, transporting system, filtering of the kidney, each and everything occurs in a particular and narrow specific pH range. If the pH value of the stomach is changed, then digestion will not takes place, vomiting takes place. So that is that is called food poison, we can say. So many metabolic reactions, so many selective metabolic reactions occurs in definite pH values. That is the answer of this. And another question I want to ask you, the question is, what is meant by is pH change causes tooth decay? Is pH change causes of tooth decay. In exam it is very important, so they will ask like this: what is meant by tooth decay? What is meant by tooth decay? How you prevent this? So that is the question. So I will answer this. If the pH of the mouth decreased to lower to 5.5 than 5.5, and tooth decay causes. So strongest part of our body is teeth, and tooths are very strong, but the pH value is decreased than 5.5, then tooth decay, that means, so it will damage our teeth because pH changes. So how it is changes? So because of bacteria which is present in our mouth, it will release harmful acids in our mouth because of food is present in our mouth. So food particles are present in our mouth. So that's why tooth decay takes place. What is the best prevent of this one? So we should clean the mouth after eating the food. That is, so we will write the notes and we will answer the question to this question. So it is very important. Tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth is lower than how much? 5.5. So what will happen? Bacteria present in the mouth releases acids by degradation of food particles. So for us, food is food for us, and food particles is food for bacteria. The best way to prevent, what is that? Is to clean the mouth after eating that, right? So the best way to prevent this is to clean the mouth after eating food. This is the best method.